this is our final word. Before we begin, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We are 150 subscribers away from 5,000 subscribers. So if you please are returning to watch this show, please click the subscribe button now. Obviously Ryan, myself and yourself were at the Shamrock Rovers and St Pat's game, which finished 1-0 to Rovers. Jack Byrne, an absolute peach of a through ball. Lee Desmond, it just got out from under his control, and Aaron Green got in, and Kevin Thompson had to take a punt on it and foul him, and he was lucky not to see red. But from speaking to a couple of people at the game, they said that the reason he didn't get a red was because it's a new rule apparently that if you foul someone in the box and the last man, a penalty is apparently enough punishment. So that explains why he didn't get sent off. Yeah. But Aaron McIvor with the goal. What were you thinking at that point? Sitting behind the goal.
Yeah, I mean, like you saw the ball come through, and the defenders, they didn't deal with it, and as you said, they're throwing and taking one for the team. I think he might have been hopeful that Brendan would make a save, and unfortunately he didn't. Aaron knows how to take a penalty, doesn't he? So when he stepped up, I was fairly confident he put it away. I didn't expect any Panenkes or anything, but he was quite composed, and he finished it as you'd expect Aaron to do. So no surprises, I don't think, to be honest.
Yeah, and he started off quite well. There's 2 goals so far, and obviously Panenka was a nice goal as well against his former club. But it seemed to be a case where Rovers were just kind of building on it and building on it and building on it, and you would have seen some of the chances as well. But there was one in particular, it was a counter-attack and started with McIvor, and he gave it up the line down to Finn. Finn gave it to Green, then he gave it to Jack Byrne. And I thought Jack could have shot. And as you look at him, it was like he was one-on-one. It was a great opportunity for him to shoot, but he laid it off to Dan Carr, and he hit it with his left foot, which is obviously his bad foot, and his side netting, when it looked pretty easy to score. And then they went down. Pats went down the other end. I think it was Rhys McCabe whipped in a ball, and Mikey Drennan gets a headed opportunity, which I think with the form that he's in at the minute, you would have thought that he would have scored that goal, but it just wasn't meant to be for him, I suppose, against his former side. But you've seen the header as well. What did you make of it?
Yeah, well, obviously he probably would have expected to have scored it. It's probably the best chance of the game by a mile. Like, there was a lot of chances for both, really. Like, do you know what I mean? It was end to end. It wasn't as if Rovers scored and then they shut up shop. Like, there was plenty of chances, like, for both, really. Like it seemed like Pats in the second half kind of pushed it a little bit more. But there's nothing really clear cut in the second half, really, for Pats. Even though they did have half chances, there was nothing like that seemed to be quite.
Was that Rovers? I thought Rovers the better the chances.
Oh yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I mean, if you look at it, Brendan Clark got man of the match. I think that actually kind of shows, and he was brilliant.
Yeah, what
every time we've seen him this season, he's been very, very good. Obviously, your very first interview was Brendan. So after.
It was Pats and Cork, the opening match, and Brendan was fantastic that game as well. Yeah, he made a good few saves that day, but he made some fantastic saves against Rovers and deservedly man of the match. Because I think that the reality is Rovers could have scored a lot more in that game, and I think they'd be thinking they should have scored more, and they were unlucky at times, but Brendan made some phenomenal saves, and I think without Brendan in goal, that's a different scoreline, to be honest.
Yeah, well, if you actually look at it, there was a mix-up between Kevin Toner and Brendan Clark for Aaron Green's chance, which he scored over the bar. If someone with a bit more composure, but he would have put it away. But in the moment, I suppose he was thinking, "Oh, well, I'm going to hit this." And I don't think he realised that people around him were in no man's land. Really.
I don't think he knew how much time he had. I think maybe it's because he was in front of the Rovers fans. He thought, "Well, give them something to celebrate here," and hit it first time. But I think he had a lot more time, and if he looked around, maybe he would have realised he can. Now, could he afford the touch? Would the Pats defender have got there first? We'll never know, I suppose.
Yeah,
but
I heard a lot of people saying that he should have just let it go in. The defender clearly would have been cross and either kicked it up, play someone. He's not going to just stand there and watch him. But it's a massive dent in regards to St Pat's, like their form and stuff like that. Like a lot of people are tipping them to push for a European place, even push for the title. It's a massive dent for them, but a huge step in the right direction for Rovers. A great statement by them made. The only issue you'd have with them is that they don't score enough goals. So another team like a Dundalk or something like that, I know they played them and drew with them, but if you're constantly creating chances and not scoring, someone like Dundalk will turn around and punish you. Ultimately, and I think that might just be their letdown. Their midfielders are starting to work, and I thought Jack Byrne was far better in that centre role rather than being out as a wide player. You could see the difference. He was getting on the ball, just getting it, giving it, going, just calm on the ball. He doesn't get panicked that he's in a lot of space and people could be trying to take him out or whatever. He's just calm, just lays it off calmly, gets into nice little pockets, as Aaron McIvor said. And they seem to enjoy playing together as well. And Ron Finn was out wide, and Dan Carr out the other side, and then you had Aaron Green up top. So he seems to still be trying to mix things up to try and see what's working best. I think now you might probably see Jack Byrne being played continuously through the middle now after that performance, and even you might see him get a couple of goals now, I'd say.
Yeah, it's not impossible. I think that when we look at Rovers, probably the thing we mentioned on the preview show beforehand, before the league began, was that if they had an out-and-out goal scorer, they would be well up there. I think it's probably their one thing that they need, and whether or not Aaron Green or Dan Carr can step up and score the goals that they need is the big question. And so far, as much as they are both very good strikers, and on their day they can guarantee maybe 1 or 2 goals, I think the reality is they're not quite consistent enough for Rovers to be truly pushing on. And I think Rovers have a real chance of challenging for the league this season. They started really well. They're top of the league for a reason, let's not forget. But just that striker would really, be the final piece of the puzzle, in my opinion.
I think though at the same time, some of the service to them hasn't been great. I think they scored a lot. Obviously, they had a lot of chances against Pats, who maybe weren't as organised, and they probably should have scored more. But in the games before that, I think against teams that were very organised, they've really struggled to create chances. Especially if they played it out from the back from the goalie, they'll rotate it from left to right for a bit, and then they can't penetrate through the lines. Maybe that'll change because Jack Brown was in the middle. Maybe that's why. But at the moment, it's the creating chances they seem to struggle with. I think more than anything, like against Bowes before the send off. I don't think Green was really given a single through ball, a good through ball. Most of them were over the top when he was trying to run onto it.
And I think we saw that again in the Dundalk game as well. We were about that, and as much as they were matching Dundalk in the midfield and whatever, when it got to the final third, they just didn't have that finishing product really, and they seemed to be lacking it. So again, I think Rovers can push for the league, but perhaps either whether it's Aaron Green or Dan Carr, one of them has to just find form, and if they can get something like 3 goals in 5 games or something like that, it would be a push in the right direction anyways.
Yeah. Or you just rely on Aaron McIvor to keep banging penalties. But as you were talking about some talk there, so they obviously played Waterford 1-4-0, which is a huge statement to the rest of the league, and everybody was waiting for this result to happen, not against Waterford, but they were waiting on Dundalk to hit form and score a few goals. And no better man than Pat Houben with that super header.
Yeah, it's a great cross into him, and Pat soars into the air and make sure that ball hits back in the net.
The keeper didn't know what to do.
It's
just such a good header, and he has that in abundance. He can head it, he can play back to goal, he can score long range goals, he can run with the ball and score goals. He brings players into it. He's just
moving in around the box, off strikers, off defenders, especially in the box, pulling in behind people and creating space. It's brilliant. And you can see from the knock how they've used width in their games, especially in this game, where there was a gap between defenders and midfielders, and they play a wide, and if Patrick Hoban something like that had made a run or whatever, Hoban.
If he's watching, he won't be happy hearing the same Hoban.
And once they put a wide, if there was a run in the box, they'd whip it in, and if they were getting great chances from corners or from headers, but also when they're moving it wide, they're obviously getting in behind the midfield, and then they play it back into the middle, and then they're having loads of shots then on goal from the middle of the midfield on goal because they were switching it wide and then playing it in behind their midfield. It's great to see something that someone like maybe Rovers is lacking. You know what I mean? How they're playing, how they're actually penetrating the
because their players kind of go inwards more than out.
Yeah,
I get you.
Yeah.
But then the second goal, Sean Murray gets off. Well, no, sorry, he scored already. So it's actually the second goal. Again, I think it was Dan O'Kelly out on the right wing with a nice bit of skill. He tries to go by someone, then it kind of comes out to the left, and sloppy play by Waterford, and he gets in, gets a strike from the edge of the box, standing goal, and they're 2-0 up. But that's coasting, I'd imagine. And then the third goal, it was Dan O'Kelly finally gets his first goal from Bowes, and I think he's going to have a really good season. This is probably just the start now, obviously, with the goal. But I think he would have been eager to get off the mark as well. You can see how happy he was when he ran off celebrating, and all the players jumped on him as well to celebrate. So fair play to him.
Yeah.
I just want to see Dundalk kick on now. I just hope that if they are kicking on, that in Europe they kick on as well, because it's obviously a massive for Irish football if they can kick on in Europe, and then Dunnigan with the last goal. What did you make of the goals?
I thought they were all
fairly standard.
Yeah, very good goals. Like in terms of how they are worked, in terms of the build up to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Kelly's goal was very good.
Yeah, like
in terms of build up.
Yeah, and the Hogan's header, or Hogan's header. All of them in terms of how they moved the ball and created the space and the opens was brilliant. Like, whereas when you look at the game in with Cork, they were great individual goals, like, but in terms of actually creating a carving open the side, it wasn't the same as Dundalk. And I think Dundalk can take a lot from that game, and especially Waterford, who are doing quite good in some games against a big team this season. They can look at that and go, they're going to keep creating chances, definitely, especially against both sides.
From a Waterford perspective, he must be really, because their fans must be really disappointed with that result. Travelling all the way up there and getting stuffed 4-0. And it doesn't happen to them often, they don't really get hammered, that's why it's very surprising. But the key for them would be to bounce back this week, and bounce back fast, because there's nothing worse when you're conceding like 4 and then you go up, you get another result, you lose again, and then you're kind of going into a bit of a slump. So they'll be looking to bounce back straight away. And the way the league kind of goes, every team seems to be, or on their day, are capable of beating any team, and I think if they just get back this week, they'll just put that to the back of their mind and get on with it. Derry did it a few times last season, they got stuffed and then they came back and won games. So it'd be interesting to kind of see how they get on. But Bowes and Derry finished 1-1. Owen Stokes getting off the mark against his former club, winning the penalty and then dispatching it. But it seemed like from watching the highlights, it seemed like a real scruffy, dogged affair. And yeah, it didn't look like a lot of chances. There was a free kick, I think it was by Ward, and Cherry made an unbelievable save. It looked, well, from the camera angle, it might look different from behind the goal, but it looked like it was going top corner.
Oh yeah, and the way it just dipped down just before it got to the goal, because it looked like it was going over, and then it just dipped down, so how the keeper got it was brilliant. Like, but Derry, I think Derry, looking from the chances and whatnot, statistics, they probably deserved the goal. They had probably most of the joy for the game, like up until they scored, and then kind of both kind of pushed then, and they started to create a few chances then. Yeah. But I think Derry, first half chances and the start of second half, I think they probably deserve to go ahead. Like,
yeah. And sloppy goal to concede though, very very sloppy. Ward picks the ball up and hits it. It goes the whole way into the box. Yeah. And there's Finney capitalised on very poor defending.
And that's what they did.
I'd say the fans would be fuming watching that.
And that's what I'm saying. Like most of the chances that they had were those where last minute of the game where they're going long or trying to whip in crosses from corners and things like that. And that's what I meant when I said, like, I think Bowes will struggle to score goals, like,
even though their striker, one player of the month, and was on countdown today, so fair play to you, didn't you?
Yeah. But I just mean in general, like, the whole team as a whole had of creating chances. Like, I think it will start to dry up.
They wouldn't want to become over-reliant on Dinny either, though. Do you know what I mean? Cause
yeah, once you're one-dimensional, it's very easy to change your shape.
Yeah.
And pretty much take him out of the game. Like if you're that one dimensional, you know what I mean.
I mean, if Dinny picks up an injury, for example, you'd want Bowes to be able to have.
Well, they have Ali regular.
Yeah, they do, but I mean, they want to be more reliant on just like team goals instead of just their strikers scoring.
Well,
do you know what I mean?
Finnerty scored.
Well, yeah, Finnerty did,
So
but
I
I think that's an exception.
What I'm saying is, like for Finnerty, right? You're like you just said, the goal itself was very sloppy. The pass just never came through, so it wasn't as if the team just carved open this brilliant chance and scored. Do you know what I mean? That's what he's saying.
Well, just before that, Peter Cherry made an unbelievable save as well.
Yeah, but that's one chance, like. Do you know what I mean? And then their last chance was a corner. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? There was nothing that was created or carved open from the ball going wide and then actually getting picked out of someone's head, or them carving open it and like chance after chance. That's what I mean. Like it's just very one dimensional. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, we talk about Rovers and Dundalk playing expansive sort of football, and Bowes sort of are a bit more pragmatic in their approach, I think. So, if they want to be up there with the rest of them, I think what they'll have to do is just get a bit more expansive with the ball. To be honest, like I'm not saying that they play poorly or like they don't play like beautiful football or whatever, but I think that if I was a Bowes fan, for example, I'd probably want them to just express themselves a bit more on the ball.
Like the goal itself, where did it come from? It was Ward, and if it was actually played for what he intended to, it would have been a Ward cross onto the striker's head. That's what it would have been. But because he missed it when it came into the field and he scored.
The boy passed about 4 players.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
I actually think
one dimension. Like
you mentioned the Derry fans being upset. I'd say Peter Cherry was furious because he had a pretty good game. Like he was solid.
Well, from what we've seen,
Yeah. So to concede a goal of that measure, I can't imagine Peter would have been happy at all.
Yeah. I just want to say though, fair play to the clubs and the YouTube channels for uploading the goals, because it makes it easier for us.
Yeah, definitely.
Because having to wait for a soccer public at 7:30 tonight, we're filming this now at 6.
It's kind of nice with that commentary as well. You can kind of make your own mind up about it as well.
Yeah, exactly. So Ryan is going to be our commentator soon, so you can check that out.
Yeah.
We're going to get Ryan doing commentary, so that's not if you like his voice.
Okay.
On to 7-goal thriller for Donegal, Ballybetay. Finhabs 3, Cork City 4, and some of these goals just utterly sickening, but beautiful at the same time. Finhabs take the lead through Greylock McIvor, and it was a bit of a weird one. It looked like the Cork defence, because the highlights were quite quick.
Yeah.
Not slagging anyone. They were good to have to watch. So,
it's good finish though.
Yeah, he done well. I thought as well.
The defence was very, very open though.
Yeah.
But this is what I was alluding to.
Yeah.
Is that you're looking at the ball kind of came out. He was in acres, and even the keeper came out. He was in no man's land. It was actually a very good finish, I thought, as well. From where he was, to be able to manage to keep it down as well as on target was very good, I thought. And surprisingly, they took a 1-0 lead against last season runner-ups and both the cup and the league. It seems as though that's going to be a very hard place for teams to go this season.
Well,
they've had a lot of good results up there. We've seen them against Shamrock Rovers, and they didn't look great. We got pelters off people because we don't know what we're talking about according to them. But from what we seen, it was just a very flat performance against Shamrock Rovers, and so they seem to be back reinvigorated against Cork. But Cork anyway, with the perfect response, went down the other end from the corner. McCarthy with the goal. It's a typical League of Ireland goal in my opinion. Scrappy, but gets the job done. They all count.
Goal's a goal, isn't it? Yeah. So.
And then I think it was Coyle goes down again the other end 2-1.
Yeah, it was a great header actually. That was a diving header. It was pretty good. Like it was a difficult one to finish. So fair play for that. Would have taken about 10 chances maybe before a goal. But definitely would have scored that eventually. He did it in 1 in fairness to him. Yeah. Fair play to you, Coyle. But like I'd say I could have done it in 10.
Yeah.
What about you, Ciaran?
I don't know. Not after this bump on my head. Yeah. No. No.
But here, before I get sick. Carroll Morrissey. Holy shit!
Yeah.
The first goal was just like it's like watching that goal by Dele Alli against Crystal Palace.
It's better.
Probably is better because the way
it's more difficult to
the way it would dip into the corner is brilliant.
I mean, talk about goal of the season. I think we've already seen it. I don't see how anyone beats that. To be honest, like that is a screamer.
It's like the highlights used to be on Soccer AM for League Trundle, like.
Yeah, the thing I thought was funny. Aaron, who does our graphic designs, was like sharing it, going, "Stop! These people have families." I thought that was brilliant. Some of the responses on Twitter were brilliant to his goal. Yeah, like he's gonna have to start his own maybe goal of the season competition. That's 3 he's got now.
Yeah, he's level now. He's top scorer in the league with Denny Corcoran and Drennan.
They're starting on days.
So yeah, level just after that game. Then. I know it's only early days, like.
Yeah, but he's got the 3 goals he has scored are absolute worldies. Yeah. Like, do you know what I mean? He'd be happy scoring any of them. Yeah. He wants 3 of them. But he goes in there and
he scores good goals.
Yeah, but it's even his third goal is unreal. It's like Scrappy wins it, drives forward very aggressively and buries it in the top corner.
It's just the way it goes across the goal and over the keeper and then dips into the back of the corner.
I love the way it ripples the net. It's just a beautiful sight. If you're a Cork fan, I'd say probably on the horn, but it is what it is.
Yeah, so it was 3-1 after the Morrissey one, and then
Graham Cummins.
Yeah, Graham Cummins scored
a copy of the McCarthy goal, I think. Yeah, that was quite similar.
Yeah, and then Coyle pulled it all back for Waterford and Quintero. Yeah, at the end of the game. Sorry? For Finn Harps, yeah. Sorry, Coyle and then Quintero.
It was 2-2 actually. Because Coyle made it 2-0 and then
that's right, yeah.
And then Cork were, I think, we were 4-2 up, and then Quintero pulled one back at the end. So
those were very scrappy goals. Yeah. He would have loved that being a Sligo man scoring against them as well. So yeah, like I mean, it's not a terrible result for the Harps. You know what I mean? Cork are a good side. They're probably just starting their form. I think they'd be happy that they got 4 goals. They obviously won't be happy. Caulfield won't be happy that they conceded 3. But at the same time, he'll be happy that they went up there and got the result, got the 3 points.
Yeah. I think Finn Harps will feel a little bit hard done by because they were leading twice in the game and just couldn't really hang on to it. And even when it was 2-2, I thought, well, we'll take the points. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 2 goals that were scored.
The only thing is, we didn't get to see the full game, so we didn't get to see how they played. But maybe it suggested that they weren't playing within themselves. They kind of went for it. You know,
if you're a Finn Harps fan, let us know in the comments.
And you were there. You know, maybe that's it. That's what it was, you know, a change of how they played, or because usually they would have might have went 1-0 ahead and then just kind of sat, but yeah, it seemed to be very, very much end to end.
Can I say something bold about Finn Harps? I think they're probably the worst. Something like this. Can I say something bold about Finn Harps? I think they're probably
you can say what you want.
I think they're the Huddersfield Town of the Premier Division, because I think that they're going to have to play very defensive away from home. I know that they're a tough side to go to and everything, and that probably makes them similar to Huddersfield and Cardiff in that sense, that it's difficult to go away to these teams, and it's difficult to, it's a big journey up to Finn Harps to play them. But I think that they're really going to have to, like, if they are leading, try and maybe not go for 2, but instead try and defend that lead, depending on the minute in the game. Because if they score early, then fair enough. But I don't see Finn Harps being able to. And you probably saw it against Rovers, not really being able to pass the ball around from one player to another, spread it wide, bring it forwards. I think Finn Harps will just have to be a bit maybe slow, sort of pragmatic, as I've mentioned, because I don't really think they have the ability to get at these teams and get behind them and stuff. That's just me. I don't know what you think, but I don't see them being able to do very much damage this season.
I just think they need to see them more. You know what I mean? I've only seen them once.
Yeah, I'd love to see them at home, but yeah, I think that seeing them at home a bit more would be great. But a lot of them could be. Yeah. It's just difficult, because they're always playing away. When they're playing away, sorry. You know what I mean? The field seems to be a lot wider, longer, which doesn't exactly play into their hands, and then the striker sometimes gets a bit isolated a little bit, and the balls that gets fed to him, against Rovers, you see he was getting really frustrated.
I mean, don't get me wrong, they were brilliant in the first division last season, and I saw a few of their games because it would have been
such a gap though. If you win that in the first division, there's such a massive gap between when you go up.
It's a massive step up.
like most teams you see that go up, they never really stay up. Like, do you know what I mean?
It is. But, it's hard for them. But look, it's early days, as we said. We don't want to rule them out just yet. They are 9th in the league, but if they can push for 8th place somehow, just keep grinding out these results, then I mean, it would be a massive achievement for them to survive. But they might do. I wouldn't rule them out.
No, I think it'd be a really big game for them this Friday against UCD away. That'd be really very interesting to see. See how they do. It's just even when they having games with scoring goals, I think it's more important that they just don't lose. Like Shamrock, as you don't say that, he says any team you try to keep up, he says it's very important if you're not winning that you're not losing, that you're at least keeping draws every single week. But
Big Sam says it. But your UCD Sligo, Statman Dave.
Yeah, I'll take over. Just the one goal in this game scored by Parks. It was in the 6th minute, basically sloppy from UCD, and they tried to pass it out from the back, and it was stolen from them by Liam Kerrigan, and he put through Parks, who put it away. Not much chances in the game. It wasn't like the most eventful match of the weekend, as you can probably tell by the result itself. I think I'd rather have seen the Finn Harps and Cork game, to be honest, because that was a bit more of a thriller. But Sligo were the better side, and I think the results shows that it's a difficult place to go through the showgrounds, and UCD obviously struggled there. But we'll see how UCD do against Finn Harps at home. I think that'll make for a better game for them. But I wouldn't be disheartened by it either, because as I said, Sligo's a difficult place to go away to, and a goal early on, they just couldn't really get back into the game, to be honest. So Sligo held it out from there.
I'll just say one thing to Sligo Rovers and UCD: sort it out and get the highlights up. They're the only two clubs that don't sort it out. What's going on?
Yeah, UCD get one of your students from media or something like that.
Yeah. I'll hire Ciaran to do. And then you have job opportunity. There you go. Anyway,
we could be there anyway, so
we might be there. Yeah. Start recording it. Yeah, maybe. From a UCD perspective, though, like they're just narrowly losing to teams now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I haven't yet seen them this season, so I can't really comment on them. And I haven't seen Sligo yet this season either, so I can't really.
Yeah.
I want to comment on them, but I can't. It wouldn't be fair of me to comment on any way they played, because I haven't seen them yet. And until I kind of do, I mean, it sounds like UCD are going kind of the right way about things, but are kind of just losing to. As you said, there wasn't that many chances. So I think what it is that UCD, like, they're in the game till the very end, but they just maybe are lacking that end product. They lost a lot of players and everything. So I think they've just been unfortunate, to be honest, at times. But maybe the Finn Harps game on the Friday will give them an opportunity, because obviously that would have been a first division game last year. So maybe they have a chance. But again, I think UCD, like Finn Harps, are going to have a difficult test this season if they want to stay up. But it's not impossible. I think they've got to find a rhythm, and then hopefully, for their sake, they'll get back into the league. And I think they need to be better on the road as well. They're going to find it difficult, I think, picking up points away from home. If they can make their home turf UCD Bowl a tough place to visit, then
they're scoring at home. They're not struggling for goals. It's just that they're losing 3-2, 2-1.
Yeah, they've been unlucky, I think. Yeah.
Well, I suppose that's really it then. We'll be at games this weekend. We should have some content with Nick McCarthy from Thursday and Stephen Kenny's press conference on Wednesday. We should have plenty of content coming for you this week, and I think it's about time, if you're watching this and you're returning to the page and you haven't subscribed already, if you please wouldn't mind subscribing now. I think we're at 150 away from 5k. So if you do that, that would be absolutely fantastic. And if you liked the video, drop a like on the video. And if you didn't like the video, tell us why in the comments. Thanks for watching, and we'll speak to you all soon. Yup!